Regional leaders also expected at this meeting that of Somalia, Eritrea, and at the same time, those that are present at the meeting include the current Sudanese parties, including the Revolutionary Front, represented by Dr. El Hadi Idris Mustafa, and the SPLM North, who is represented by General Abdallah Zizi, Adam El Hilu, and then President Yoweri Museveni was received at Juba International Airport by his South Sudanese counterpart, President Salva Kiir Mayardit. UNEB is discouraging direct media engagement with students sitting for their Senior 4 exams because it is more likely to distract them. We learned about this as we visited a government school within Kampala. Let's hear more from Ivan Kahwa.
Senior 4 exams have started countrywide with physics practical and fine art. In such practical assignments, teachers play effective roles in influencing the students' performance.
Most especially like practicals, we get some prior idea about them, but we feel it is not good for them to tell the students
take advantage of
to take yes, because they don't know what exactly they have asked, and they can the students can mess up with that prior information.
However, when a child finds in the compound, say, please, may I, for example, some exams will continue up next week. If a child consults in history or mathematics, which will happen next week, you help. Yes, please.
When it comes to private schools, sometimes it is beyond control because most tutors in such schools are actually examiners.
People want induced results so they can make money. So by so doing, they're falling short of ethics.
Uganda National Examinations Board rules this time have discouraged students from talking to media after a general students' briefing.
Yeah, it is true. After briefing, the students are now handed over to UNEB. So we cannot allow anybody else to talk to the students without going through the permission of UNEB officers.
The only thing we are telling the media is not to enter into the examination room. When you record, you may record an examination which is still in progress when other people have not done it. But they are free to talk to the media before they enter, but not so much after they have come out, because some people are still doing the exam.
It's not good. I begin to ask them about the past examination. They might begin to speak, and at the end of the day, they discover, hey, I think I made a mistake. I may not now pass that examination.
But you can interact with the final, but then still, you never know. Some people may be not able to do the paper and would not encourage it. Just interview them before, or if you want them to tell you what happened today, you can ask them tomorrow morning.
On the 15th October, students will go in for chemistry practical and music respectively. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News in Kampala.
Now, issues to do with UCE, Uganda's Certificate of Education Examinations has started with limited complaints on delayed delivery of examination materials in all the 24 routes. The manager, Uganda National Examinations Board, James Turiatemba, urges parents to clear school dues to avoid inconveniences during the examination time.
Close to 337,718 students have started writing Uganda Certificate of Education examinations at 3,598 centers. The candidates started with Physics Paper 3, a practical paper. The number of candidates with special needs sitting this year is 401. Uganda National Examinations Board says that the examination has started successfully. The rainy season has not disrupted candidates. However, some candidates on wheelchairs found difficult in doing the first paper.
There has been totally no problem. The roads were passable. The people who were in the distribution process had the expertise that it takes. With respect to physics being a practical, we have only had a few challenges reported on the special needs learners. We had cases where some were physically handicapped students, but UNEB usually provides assistive services and we were there to help them. Some of them needed wheelchairs to move in the laboratories. That has also been arranged.
Candidates in Opit, Northern Uganda, narrowly missed out sitting the examinations for failure to complete school fees.
We have had a situation where in Opit, we had to start a little bit late, Opit Secondary School, because the police had to come in where the head of school was saying no fees, no exam. But it was resolved very amicably.
Some candidates in Northern Uganda were brought in the examinations room, escorted by police, which UNEB says paints a bad picture and candidates need to be disciplined.
Discipline at school is the responsibility of the school administration. But then there comes a time when the school itself cannot handle. So they hand over these people if they have criminal cases to police. But our guideline as a country is even people in Ruzira are doing exams as I speak now. So they are suspects. Anybody who is a suspect has a right, and therefore they have a right to do exams. Who knows, they may not be proved guilty at the end of the exercise. And if you deny them examinations, they can turn around and ask you why.
168,649 senior 4 candidates are male, while 169,069 are female. Among the special needs candidates writing exams, 36 are blind, 60 with hearing impairment, 75 with severe physical handicap, and 88 with low vision, while 117 need extra care. I'm Navka Farida and Helen Barbara in Kampala.
Now in Kasese, heavy rains have disrupted the distribution of examination papers, especially in hard-to-reach areas in Kasese district. As for students all over the country, this Monday, the 14th of October 2019, started their UCE with a physics practical paper 3, as we hear more.
By 8:30 a.m., many schools in hard-to-reach areas of Kasese district had not received examination papers. The cases in point are Karambi Secondary School, Kitholhu Secondary School, Mid Valley Secondary School, and Ihandiro Vocational Secondary School, also in Bukonzo West constituency. According to the headmaster, Karambi Senior Secondary School, Baluku Simie, the heavy downpour in the district affected the reception of examination papers. At Mid Valley Secondary School, the head teacher, Masereka Agustin, noted that the exercise commenced well despite the heavy rains.
The parents bought a school van and we have prepared our van, we have gone to the garage, we have prepared for the fuels.
Meanwhile, police in Toro district has grilled the head teacher of East Side High School in Toro municipality, Francis Odwal, over delay in picking examination papers from UNEB Collection Center, which is just 300 meters away. According to police, Odwal collected the examination papers at 9:30 a.m., way past the time the students were supposed to have begun the examinations.
For morning, you are supposed to be there by 8:30. Sign for exams come, there is that allowance of movement and the students preparing, so that at exactly 9 exams commence. And likewise in the afternoon, you are not supposed to come at the time when people are supposed to begin exams. You have to come earlier, bring papers, they check.
In his defense, Odwal explained that the school had delayed to arrange for science apparatus that they had to borrow from a sister school.
The practicals, the teacher who is supposed to do it lost his brother, where he had kept those things he knew best. So I could not leave everything like that. So I made an effort to sit with the items needed, put in place, then I rest.
Though the head teacher avoided arrest, UNEB Toro area supervisor Helen Wataba says he has a case to answer.
In fact, we have put that person to task. He has to make it in writing to explain to us why he delayed.
Here the exams begin at 9.
Now, over 337,000 students are sitting for the Uganda Certificate of Education examinations countrywide, out of whom 401 students are with different forms of disabilities. Wakiso School for the Deaf, the only secondary school for hearing impaired students in the central region, accounts for 18 girls and 12 boys. Describing the atmosphere of the first day of the examination, Richard Katongole, the head teacher at Wakiso School for the Deaf, says that the exercise kicked off peacefully, considering that the exams arrived in time.
Wakiso School for the Deaf has rented a tent in order to observe the strict rules of Uganda National Examinations Board during the ongoing Uganda Certificate of Education examinations. Out of 337,718 students, Wakiso School for the Deaf has 30 of her students also sitting. The head teacher, Wakiso School for the Deaf, Richard Katongole, says despite obvious challenges like inadequate space, the exercise has started peacefully.
I'm an area supervisor of about 20 schools in the same area, and so far the exercise is going well. In
order to observe Uganda National Examinations Board rules and regulations, the school secured tents but also used polythene papers to roof a structure that was destroyed by heavy rains in July this year, providing shelter for continuing students.
But the rains have been too much, and we put a polythene bag to protect the building against further damage.
So far, the school has received about 23 million shillings from different institutions and well-wishers to have the building re-roofed.
This roof requires 46 million. Sevalu and Company Advocates give us 5 million, while KCB Bank gave us 11 million. Yes, that is 16. Oh, and also Honorable Alex Ndezi gave us 7 million, so that is 23.
Last year, Wakiso School for the Deaf fetched only 3rd and 4th grades in the Uganda Certificate of Education examinations. The school administration blames the poor performance on the fact that Uganda National Examinations Board still follows a uniform marking guide that rarely favors students with disabilities.
We've been trying to press it upon UNEB to change the way they mark students with disabilities, but it's not easy. I think it's also not easy for them to find a way of testing them, because if you want to get the best out of these students in exams, ask them orally to sign.
That withstanding, Katongole is optimistic that this year's lot of students will deliver desired results. Dorcas Kimono and Daniel Mugoya, UBC TV News.
In Namilyango College, it has declined to allow a senior 4 student who was expelled to sit for Uganda Certificate of Education examinations despite a court order. Mukono High Court recently ordered Namilyango College to allow George William Eronda, a senior 4 student who was expelled on May 24th this very year, to sit for Uganda Certificate of Education examination after registering for them under registration number U00064 stroke 046. On Thursday, the Deputy Registrar of Mukono High Court, Harriet Sadi Nalukwago, ruled that the school did not follow the right procedures when expelling Eronda. Today, Eronda, accompanied by his lawyer and Mukono Police Commander, went to the school alongside the court order, but the meeting with the school administration was fruitless. Eronda was also scrapped off the list of candidates who had registered for the UCE examinations. Eronda, together with his father Wilberforce Wandera, sued the school and the Board of Governors, claiming that the expulsion was illegal because they did not follow the right procedure. Of robbery in the country, police in Kampala are holding 3 suspects in connection to the aggravated robbery of Mugabe Cyprus, an employee of Uganda Revenue Authority. The suspects allegedly broke into Mugabe's home in Kasangati, a Kampala suburb, and took off with a number of electronics and a vehicle. Kampala Metropolitan Police Deputy Spokesperson Luke Oyesigire says that most suspects in the case are still at large.
Police here at CPS is having 3 suspects. One Kanyoro Joshua, Mujuzi Shifa, and Awol Jamil. The arrest of these suspects came after a case of aggravated robbery that of course was reported to our 99 operatives. And upon reporting, they started pursuing the suspects who had attacked the home of Ewan Mugabe Cyprus, who is a worker in the URA, Charwajara branch. His home was attacked at 3:20 a.m. in the morning by 3 men armed with pangas and knives. It is alleged by the victim these suspects took quite a lot of property from phones, a laptop, and cash totaling to 1.2 million from him, and also his vehicle Harrier number UBF 052F. Of course, he later on liaised with the neighbor. Lucky enough, this vehicle that had been stolen had a tracking device. And of course, 99 started pursuing these suspects, and they were intercepted. The vehicle was intercepted along Ring Road here in Old Kampala with one of the suspects inside called Kanyoro Joshua. And he later on, after arrest, took us to the different spots he alleged they keep the money or property they steal. That's where we arrested these 2 ladies from.
Now, from police to court, retired Supreme Court Justice George Wilson Natubu Sekoko is dead on a sad note. According to the judiciary, Justice Sekoko passed away at Novik Hospital in Kampala, where he was admitted several weeks back. Before he was admitted, Justice Sekoko had been battling cancer of the prostate, according to the judiciary senior communications officer, Mr. Solomon Muita. In 2001 and 2006, Justice Sekoko was among the minority judges that allowed Besige's petition, annulled Museveni's victory, and called for fresh elections. He joined the bench in 1990 on the appointment of President Museveni, as we hear more. Well, we will be compiling the story there about Justice Sekoko, and we will be availing it to our audience. Now, still in the education sector, 2 primary 7 candidates have been killed by the landslide in Mahango sub-county in Kasese district following a heavy downpour in the most mountainous sub-county in Kasese district. Now, the 2 pupils who were sisters and both candidates at the same school at Nyamo primary parish perished in their bedroom. Now, we will be bringing this as a story, but it is a sad story on a very sad note, and we do really send our condolences to the bereaved family. Now, moving on to our next story, corruption among officers dealing in land matters has spearheaded the enormous loss of land by landowners in the country. However, getting faithful and committed officers managing land transaction issues is still a challenge on who to trust with people and land titles.
Most of the alleged land lost by individuals has, to an extent, been caused by the carelessness of some officers dealing in land matters.
She's definitely probably over 90 years. basenda ekibanja kyange titulina mmere gyetulya ekibanja bakisenda etulini nekyeyo bebasenda ekibanja kyange.
This has led to loss of lives by some claimants, while the rich are left to use their influence to attain what could not be theirs.
Abakanyama bakavuma batemetemye omukozi wa faaza nikati omulambo bagulema tulemeseza ogujjayo.
Interacting with the Commission of Inquiry into Land Matters on how he lost over 2 plots in Kacheka, Mbarara district of Francis and Monica Ishanga, the former Minister for Agriculture in the Obote regime, tipped commissioners on how land has been carelessly handled by entrusted officers.
Because it's not done by anybody else, it's done by Ugandans and they're done by people who are paid by taxpayers. People who get the land titles are only enticed because maybe they have money, they can buy their way. They are only enticed because they know that the system can be easily compromised.
The former minister told commissioners that there is no more trust like it used to be in the ancient times because he trusted Francis Ishanga to deal with the land transactions, but he turned into a land grabber.
This man came to me in the beginning of November last year. By end of November, and we agreed what he was going to do. He was going to check with the municipality and talk with them and see if they would buy this land from me. By the end of the month, the title had been transferred to 3 names.
According to information available to the commission, the names of the mother title of the contested land were changed to Francis Ishanga, sensitizing the masses on land ownership, and the land officers changing their ways were seen as avenues of solving land problems in the country. So that Kai, UBC News.
Now, police is investigating circumstances under which unknown fires caught homesteads and businesses in Mengo Kisenyi Ruvaga division. Eyewitnesses say that the fire started at around 4 p.m. Monday evening, also destroying milling machines, and no one could trace what could have led to this fire.
wayaringa bubi washokingidde kawaya katini nnyo mutandika omwaka
And of course, police arrived at the scene at around 6:30 to try and control the inferno as investigations continue. Now, Indians in Uganda through the North India Cultural Association have celebrated the life and times of Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi is heralded in India because of his role in the campaign for India's independence from Britain.
Every country has its heroes, and for India, few beat Mahatma Gandhi to that title. Gandhi played a key role in achieving India's independence from Britain in 1947, but almost immediately after that, he was assassinated. Globally, with Indians in Uganda under the North Indian Culture Association, I used the Dusra festivities to celebrate his life. India's High Commissioner to Uganda, Ravi Shankara, graced the occasion at Lugogo.
Also look at the festival of Vijayadashmi as a victory of cleanliness over dirt, of good health and fitness over disease, of a clean environment over a poor one, and also one of a care for the Mother Earth over uncontrolled and unbridled consumption. I think if we keep these ideals in our conscience and also in our daily lives, I'm sure that we will be able to make a difference to our surroundings, our environment, and Mother Earth.
Feast of Dussehra is celebrated in India and Nepal to rejoice the defeat of demon King Ravana by Lord Rama, to symbolize a triumph of truth over evil and light over darkness. John Barnes, Sentamu, reporting.
It's time for us to take a short break, but when we do return, business continues.
Every dream has a challenging journey. Ours began in 1998 with a mission to drive the development of a robust communications sector in Uganda. We created structures to champion the dream. We've evolved, made discoveries, supported great minds, empowered Ugandans, and fostered a vibrant culture, enabling communication for all. Down the years, we've created memories and networks, uniting generations and building great partnerships. Together, we can go even further. UCC, celebrating 20 years of achievements.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pain Arena. Introducing on the right corner, Mr. Action, the reigning heavyweight champion in the ring against
the Headache, the #1 contender. And the bell rings.
Headache charges forward with a steady right and a left hook. Action dodges. He misses out with an inch. Wait a minute. Mr. Action launches back with a kick. The final blow. He is out.
If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Have you completed Senior 4 or Senior 6 and you want to do a 2-year certificate or a diploma course? Makerere Institute for Social Development, an affiliate to Makerere Business School, offers programs in accounting and finance, business administration, procurement and supplies management, social work and social administration, information technology, counseling and guidance, human resource, project planning and management, journalism, secretarial studies, and many others. We are located on Sir Apollo Kegwa Road, next to Oilcom Petrol Station, with a UBTEP Center number.
Measles and rubella outbreaks are still being reported in some districts in Uganda, putting the lives of our children at risk. In order to stop these outbreaks and maintain a polio-free Uganda, the Ministry of Health has planned a national measles, rubella and polio immunization campaign for all children under 15 years of age on 16th to 20th October 2019, starting 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. All vaccines are safe, effective, and free. Parents and caretakers are hereby asked to take all children under 15 years of age for immunization at the nearest health facility or immunization post. Ministry of Health also calls upon everybody to report any child with a fever and generalized skin rash to the nearest health facility or health worker immediately. This could be measles or rubella. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from World Health Organization and UNICEF.
There must be a madness that has taken us all. When the life of an animal means nothing at all. But for all those creatures with stories they cannot tell, we will be the voice to help end their living hell.
Daddy, what's wrong?
I've had a long day, Angel, and I have a bad headache.
Oh, I'll give you something that will make you feel better if you promise to play with us.
Headache? Toothache? Unapoumwa, unataka kitulizo kwa haraka gani? Mara moja. Pain and Fever Reliever. A quality product from Beta Healthcare contains paracetamol, caffeine and aspirin. Beta Healthcare. Caring for all. If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Welcome to Business. Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries is reviewing guidelines for the extension services in the country. The Director Extension Services, PATRICIA, says that the reviews will improve agricultural services, as we hear more.
Extension work helps farmers to improve agricultural production through providing services that enhance output. The Directorate of Extension Service in the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries is reviewing guidelines to improve extension service delivery to farmers. At the beginning of every season, Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries will involve district extension workers to review and plan for better production.
Beginning of the season, we have to meet and we try to find out what we did last season, how things went well, what we plan to do. So that is the review, what were the challenges and what were the lessons learned.
The Directorate of Extension Services has set up minimum standards for all the districts to ensure quality extension services to farmers.
We have used parameters to rank the districts, and we're looking at the reports they are submitting. We are looking at the quality of the reports they are submitting, and two, we are developing a tool to measure performance, which we shall be using.
In 2018-2019, Gulu municipality ranked best in executing extension service delivery.
Some of the activities that we always do, we make sure that we follow the guidelines. You know, the government wants us to do training, yes, offer trainings in sustainable land management, do follow-up, exchange visits, and we make sure we do this timely and we report.
The meeting sitting at Mokono Zonal Agricultural Research and Development Institute will identify beneficiaries for agro-industrialization and strengthen farmers using the nuclear farmer model approach. Mutonyi Hilda and Henry Okech for UBC.
Now, in the Ministry of Trade, Trade Minister Amelia Chambade underscored the increasing exploitation of contractors by government officials and other middlemen that's negatively affecting quality of work and production. She was addressing the media ahead of the Uganda Contractors and Providers Summit 2019, which is due on the 12th and 13th of November this very 2019, to benchmark contractors' visibility profile under Buy Uganda, Build Uganda.
The government of Uganda launched by Uganda Build Uganda Bubu strategy has means to improve and add value to locally manufactured goods. However, many local contractors have raised concern of exploitation and bureaucratic tendencies on the Ugandan market.
The construction industry continues to face challenges of financial capacity,
financial deepening, taxation, its challenges, consequences and benefits.
In lieu of this, the Minister for Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, Amelia Chambade, says to deal with this negative vice, the government has come up with the first ever summit to educate local contractors about their rights.
Is he aware of all the regulations that are there to support him, to defend him? So this summit is going to reawaken you in all these areas.
Chambade also took a swipe at government officials over contractors' exploitation, especially extortion.
For example, bureaucracy. There's a lot of bureaucracy in government. You find these contractors running from ministry to ministry, chasing one piece of paper for a year. One piece of paper, one signature, one important person, and the middleman is exploiting you. Claiming to know the minister, and the one who knows her, give her something, and the one who knows the people, and then at the end of the day, the cost of bidding is so expensive.
The Executive Director, Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Assets, PPDAs, Benson Turiamye, says the authority has introduced electronic methods to quicken operations.
Electronic government procurement. Electronic government procurement is automating the current procurement processes. So this will improve efficiency. It will also improve transparency.
One of the impediments to realization of Uganda's 2040 vision is contractors' ability to evade taxes, something that has resulted in Uganda Revenue Authority failing to hit its revenue collection targets in the past.
You pay your taxes very well, and when you actually operate very well, you have a great opportunity to do business. And we are aware that there are many contractors who are left out in participating in the bidding process because of issues of non-compliance.
The summit is slated for 12th to 13th of November this year under the theme by Uganda Build Uganda from a contractor's perspective. Abdul Nasir Luwama for UBC News.
Thank you there, Abdul Nasir Luwama. Now moving ahead, Patrick Oponya, a blind man from Omoro district, takes care of his family using earnings from his apparel. Oponya's practical approach to life has made him quite independent. Let's take a look.
Beekeeping is a lucrative venture, but would be better not for a blind person. This was a challenge for 40-year-old Patrick Oponya, a visionary family man who stood against all odds to succeed in life. Oponya is a hard-working, sight-challenged entrepreneur who invested in apiary to the surprise of able-bodied neighbors. The project is about 500 meters away at Laloge village in Omoro district. Because he lost his sight 10 years ago, his wife guides him on the status of the hives.
Keeping bees does not need a big piece of land, need a small piece of land, and then does not consume a lot of time. That's why I decided to start keeping bees, because I'm blind, I cannot manage any kind of business.
Oponya lost sight to an unusual malaise in 2011 while working as a security guard in Gulu.
It started when I went for a medical checkup. Then my doctor told me that I'm having a disease eyes called LUKOMA.
As a lone breadwinner for his 4-member young family, Oponya recounts how he felt when the employer told him that his service was no longer needed due to his blind status.
When I stopped working, I was even about to commit suicide. I was thinking, where will I start with the life? Where will I go? Where will I take care of my family?
Though blind, Uponya focused and figured out what it meant to be blind. He received 2.9 million from NSSF in 2012 and invested in beekeeping. The savings came in handy to help him forward.
From this side of the farm, I'm having 36 beehive. From that side of the farm is 44 beehive. So, in my future plan, I wanted to be among the leading bee farmer in the northern Uganda. I wanted even to have even if 1,000 beehive.
From about 80 beehives on 2 different apiaries, Uponya earns 4 million shillings annually.
I'm getting even money which I can even pay school fees for my children. I can even have some money for buying their clothes.
For the last 10 years, Uponya has perfected the trade using the 2.9 million shillings NSSF savings. It has been value for his new life as a blind person. Abiona Francisco and Philippa Guta, UBC News.
It's time to cross borders. Now voting ended late Sunday in the decisive round of Tunisia's presidential elections between media mogul Nabil Karoui and independent candidate Kais Said, a retired law professor. The two candidates advanced to the runoff after gaining more votes than 24 other candidates in the first round of voting on the 15th of September.
Tunisian voters lined up for 2 hours to elect their new president. Over 4,000 polling stations opened at 8 a.m. The turnout was below 13% in the morning, but it increased throughout the day. Nabil Karoui voted at LUKOMA Primary School in Tunis amid tight security measures. He promised to modernize the country and to create a new social and economic dynamic.
I will be the president of a modern Tunis that respects women's rights, helps the poor, and lets our youths dream and find a job at home instead of risking their lives in illegal immigration. It's a country of justice. Tunisians must vote massively. We'll certainly win this election.
700 foreign observers and over 15,000 Tunisians are monitoring the election process. They were trained by the election authority, the civil society and the political parties. Kais Said, the retired law teacher who campaigned with hundreds of dollars and who's often described as anti-establishment candidate, voted in Ariana Governorate.
Tunisians have startled the world. You must continue and choose your own destiny. Tunisians can stop all conspiracies against the democratic process by voting. The will of the people will win.
Tunisians are optimistic about the outcome of the election. Many believe that the country is on the right path to democracy, despite the social, economic and security challenges.
I hope the situation improves in Tunisia. The new president must eradicate terrorism and reform the educational and health systems.
No matter who wins, the winner shall be a president for all Tunisians without distinction. As youth, we are fed up of empty political promises. We are voting for change.
According to the election authority, voting in the presidential runoff was smooth and transparent in all constituencies. Monitoring groups declared that the police personnel and the National Army secured the polling stations in full neutrality. The 2014 Constitution stipulates that the President of the Republic has fewer powers than the Prime Minister. However, the resident of Carthage is still Tunisia's most influential and senior directly elected official. The President will appoint the defense and foreign ministers in consultation with the Premier and Parliament.
We'll start off with the She Cranes in our sports. Uganda national netball team, the She Cranes, has been flagged off to Cape Town, South Africa to defend the African netball title that they won in 2018 from Zambia. The traveling contingent that has 21 members, 11 of whom are players and 10 officials, was flagged off by the National Council of Sports Vice Chairman Technical Haji Zubairi Galiwango. Jessica Achan, Irene Ayero, Irene Mirembe, Mary Nuba, Namfuka Stella, Martha Soyigi, and Nalwanga Nampungu, among other players, are on the team. Uganda to open up their title defense against Zimbabwe on Friday before meeting Tanzania and Kenya on Saturday and Sunday, respectively.
Is that okay? We have flagged off the She Cranes, which is going to defend the African Cup in South Africa. The team has been well facilitated according to the budget that was given to us as government and according to the monies they are supposed to get. I don't think there is any problem. In terms of experience, this team has got enough exposure right from last year in Commonwealth, then World Cup, then the trials they have had in Barbados, they have had trials in the United Kingdom, and including South Africa. So we don't see anything that will stop them from performing. We just pray that they become organized and perform better each time they approach again.
We have been preparing for quite a while, that is a month, but I'm sure what we have done and the preparations we have had so far, we are ready and we are capable, determined to win this tournament.
Now, Uganda Cranes head coach Jonathan McKinstry will have his second test this weekend when Uganda hosts Burundi in the second leg of the CHAN tournament. McKinstry won his first game against Ethiopia, boosting his confidence before competitive games. Uganda to play Burundi with an away win in the first leg and a second leg win will secure a slot in the 2020 CHAN tournament in Cameroon. Team Uganda started its training Sunday morning and equally hard light training Monday at Philip Omondi Stadium. In camp are 3 goalkeepers, 8 defenders, 11 midfielders and 3 strikers. KCCA FC has Charles Lukwago, John Revita, Mustafa Kiza, Alan Okello, Nicholas Kasozi and Mike Motiaba on this team. And then Vipers SC has Khalid Lawaliwa, Karim Wantabara, and then Fahad Bayo and Dan Serunkuma, while URA FC, Wakiso Giants, Police and Mbarara City equally have players on the team. The team is expected to be trimmed further to 23 players who will feature in Saturday's game. Now, before we sign out, let's go to Daphne Kabasita for the weather forecast.
It's a pleasure having you for this weather update. I'm Daphne Kabasita Nsamba from Uganda National Meteorological Authority, and thanks for tuning into UBC Inspiring Uganda. Most parts of the country had cloudy conditions, with some areas having isolated showers, and most stations reported rainfall. But according to the report that we received today, these are some of the stations that reported the highest amount of rainfall. Masaka reported the highest of 75.7 millimeters. Masindi reported 24.9 millimeters. Toro we had 41.6 millimeters, and then Kasese we had 47.2 millimeters. Checking with the satellite image over Africa, it shows that the rain belt is over our country. That's why most parts of the country are having showers. So we are advising the farmers to continue sowing more seeds so that we get more harvest. Tomorrow we are expecting to start the day with sunny intervals in most parts of the country, apart from some few areas around Lake Victoria where we're expecting isolated showers. Later in the afternoon we're expecting isolated showers in the western part of Uganda and some areas in northern part of the country like Gulu. Other parts of the country we're expecting sunny intervals. Temperatures expected to rise to 29 in the northeastern part of the country, and then in our capital city we're expecting temperatures to rise to 26, and then in Kabale we are expecting temperatures to rise to 22 degrees Celsius. Going beyond Uganda, we're expecting Nairobi, Dubai and London to have sunny intervals. In Paris, we're expecting showers, and then in New York, we're expecting sunny conditions. But then the temperatures are expected to rise to 17 degrees Celsius in New York. That's what we had in our store. For more information about weather, don't hesitate to click on our website. Have a blessed day.
Well, thanks, Daphne. That's all we had time for. But news tonight, as it ends, we do take a recap of the top stories. In our top stories tonight, President Museveni joins regional leaders in Juba for Sudan peace talks. Over 330,000 candidates sit for the 2019 UCE exams. In the international scene, voting ends in Tunisian presidential election runoff. And in sports, the She Cranes team off to Cape Town to defend African netball title. Again, that's it from us. My name is Patricia LUKOMA, Elizabeth Nakakoni on sign language from the entire news team. It's a good night, but UBC TV continues.
Welcome to our program once again. We are here to bless you. I would like to read with you this verse before you watch the testimony. I believe you know this story when people are trying to stone a lady because she was caught in adultery. The Bible says, she said, "No one, Lord." And Jesus said to her, "Neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more." Jesus did not condemn you, no matter who you are. No matter what you have done or what you are doing right now. Maybe you are a person doing wrong and you know that you are doing wrong. Jesus